David!
Hey, Gwen.
What are you doing around here? You're not looking for me, are you?
Oh,
I'm just messing with you. Come on.
No, I just had a disastrous job interview at Redemo Assets.
Oh, right. I heard they're hiring. But why disastrous? Stuff perfect for you. Plus, we could have our lunches together.
No, they're shredding all evidence of my interview as we speak.
Hey, what happened?
Well,
Oh, come on. Tell me all the details. I want to know all about it. Let's go and sit down.
all right. Okay, so I went in, took my seat. And just as I was...
Wait. I can see why it went badly. You obviously feel the job's more for you than you can handle.
No, I don't. I'm perfect for the job. I can top anyone else in the market.
Well, judging by your grand entrance, I wouldn't say you're out to outdoing anyone. I mean, the way you carry yourself shows your self-esteem. In your case, the lack of it.
So I look a bit dazed. Interview hasn't even begun yet, so what?
So what? It begins the moment you walk through the door. I mean, can you imagine how your entrance would look like if you were sharp and focused?
Well, I suppose something like this.
Now, isn't that much better? This is the very first stage of the famous first impression. He doesn't know you yet, but at least he's not facing a man that feels justifiably or unjustifiably too humble or modest.
So the first impression is pretty crucial to the outcome of the interview?
Yeah, exactly. It's determined within the very first 30 seconds of the interview and can't be very easily undone, you know. So this sense of self that you carry with you into the interview room may very well determine its final outcome. If you go into the interview room feeling all worried and apprehensive, you'll come across as stressed and nervous. But on the other hand, if you go in ready to face the challenge of an interview and know that you'll do just fine, you'll come across as communicative, confident and at ease.
I see what you mean.
Great. Well then, let's move on.
So, David, tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I'm 31 years old. I'm single. I come from a small town. I have as you can see, I have a business degree. I also do volunteer work. I come from a large family. I'm sorry, I'm not really sure what you mean by telling me about yourself. So maybe you could ask a few more specific questions, and I could honestly let you know whatever it is you want to know.
All right, fair enough. Let's get on with the questions then.
What? Look, I admit it was a bit awkward, but you heard him say fair enough, and he did move on to more specific questions?
Oh, it's more than a bit awkward. You missed out on a prize question. God, I feel like shaking you. You should seize opportunities like this. What would your sister Julie want to know before hiring a babysitter for the kids?
I don't know. Previous experience, attitude towards children. I don't know, to get a good first impression of a personality.
Well, exactly. Besides the cold hard facts, she want to get a good sense of her personality and attitude. It's as relevant.
Yeah, but I had such good answers ready. Just didn't ask the right questions, you know? You just caught me off guard. All right, I get the picture. Well, how about this? Well, over the last 4 years, I've managed all the South Asian business accounts at Crassus Enterprises. It required a great deal of looking into the finer details of every business transaction, as well as hands-on experience with the South Asian business culture. I am the type of person that puts an emphasis on the finer details of every transaction, and quite honestly, I believe it's that exact quality that increased my department's productivity over the course of those 4 years.
That was much better.
Still,
What?
look, I know I'm perfect for the job and all, but it's a step up for me. Professionally, I'm applying for the job my current supervisor holds, and I'm apprehensive.
Oh, you know, being apprehensive is very natural. Oh, we should all accept that, but not necessarily act up on it. Remember, you have had your successes in the past. At least try to remember that when you're having an interview.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. Actually, it occurred to me during his next question.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What would you say are your good qualities, David?
Fantastic! Another prize question. What did you say? Hardworking, charismatic, no greatness, speedo?
Even better.
Oh?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't like to brag, sir. Let's just say I'm a regular guy, pulling his weight, doing his bid, just like everyone else. What?
A regular guy, pulling his weight like everyone else.
Look, I just hate people that brag and glorify themselves, you know? It's pretentious.
Well, you don't have to boast. You can always mention your finer professional qualities without being one of those kind of people. You said it occurred to you, well, great, go along with that. Try saying to yourself before answering that sort of question, I am worthy because, and see what happens.
All right. I'm worthy because I was responsible for some of our most significant achievements, and I attribute that to the fact that I'm thorough and I always do my homework before every transaction. I have great interpersonal skills, and I consider myself pretty creative when it comes to problem solving.
See?
I didn't sound cocky at all.
Quite right. When you believe in your better qualities, when you focus and remember your initiatives and your contributions, you reflect exactly that. It comes across through your tone of voice and your behaviour and your general approach. And don't sound cocky because you're not trying to stroke your own ego. Speaking of sense of worth, did he ask you how much you expect to get paid?
As a matter of fact, he did. I was a bit surprised.
Supposing you're the right man for the job, how much do you see yourself earning per annum?
Oh, well, whatever is customary, you know, I don't really know how much you usually offer, so. I should have mentioned actual figures, right? I should have checked it out online.
It's not bad. Well, yes, you should have. But it's not even about the money. It's way, way beyond that. You came across as somebody that was all hesitant and unsure. How much is the average for that position anyway?
I don't know, around 50,000 a year. But you know, for somebody in my experience, I should say a little bit more.
All right then.
I believe that 60,000 a year would be fair. It'd be nice if in the future there'd be room for further consideration, but for now I think that's fair. Hey, I looked and sounded like somebody who's worth that amount.
Of course. You feel this is a fair salary that will allow you to live comfortably. Of course, you can't go around asking for excessive amounts.
No, of course not.
See, when you name a fair amount with your sense of worth, your tone and confidence affects the interviewer. So what else happened?
Now comes the nasty bit.
Describe to me, if you could, your weaknesses, please.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, I can't seem to remember right now, but I guess one might say I'm a tad bit of a perfectionist. You want to know exactly what went through my head? What was I supposed to do? Tell him I'm the office nag and that I'm not the quickest decision maker? Yeah, that'd give you the job real quick.
That's not at all what I'm saying you should have done. But you came across as somebody that's trying to hide something. So what did you do? You used your perfectionism as a weakness. And that's such a cliche. You know, it compromises your credibility.
Okay, was I supposed to do this? My weaknesses are, oh man, I am worrisome, I'm a tireless nag, I'm completely indecisive, I constantly needed to be patted on the back to remind myself I'm not half bad.
Lord, no, that was honest, yeah, but harmful. How about this?
Well, sometimes I might ask a lot of questions before a new project, you know, and maybe come out as a bit of a nag, but that's only because I want to make sure I understand everything completely beforehand. You know, it subsides once I'm sure I have all the facts straight.
See the difference? When you're aware of your own value and you're confident professionally, you're not afraid to tell anybody about a real weakness. You don't need to hide, but you certainly don't need to expose yourself to him in order for him to like you. Simply state a fact of life, showing that you're aware of your weaker points, but strive to improve them.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Did he ask you to describe a failure or a professional mishap?
No.
Well, when I applied for my job, my interviewer did. It's a common enough question.
Yeah, but that's just offensive, you know? It's so obvious he wanted to fail you, you know? I would have told him I can't remember.
Oh, really? You'd been wrong to do so, you know.
Oh, yeah? What did you say?
You want to know what I said?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll think about it just a second. Oh yeah, I remember. I can recall an instance when I was too harsh on an employee. She'd made a real blunder, and I overreacted. Things weren't the same between us for quite a while, and it did harm our working relationship. You know, she was actually a pretty good employee, and in retrospect, I realised I was too hard on her. But we worked things out in the end, and I did handle similar situations differently since then.
Wow, you came out even better than you would have otherwise. Somehow, you came out even more powerful by talking about a mishandling of the situation. It rocks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. You see, the impression that my interviewer got of me was that I was a woman who was A, confident, B, able to admit fault and correct it, and C, trustworthy.
Trustworthy, huh?
Indeed.
Gotcha.
No one is above making mistakes. And those that try to pass themselves off as error-free, it just doesn't inspire trust. You know, there's no reason in the world why he should want to ambush you. And most likely he's not a bad guy. So why not trust his ability to form a positive opinion in you, even though you admit you made a mistake in the past? I mean, that's what I did.
You know what just occurred to me?
That I'm an incredibly bright and attractive young woman that's tremendously fun and worthwhile to know and hang out with.
No. I mean, yeah, that too. But what you said about the interviewer not being such a bad guy.
Well, not inherently so. Why?
Because I think I might have been a tad over judgmental with him.
Oh, yeah? How so?
Well, after I came in, I noticed he was having a conversation over the phone, right? He noticed me and he told me to take a seat. Then he just kept on talking for about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes until finally he finished.
Okay.
Then he just started the interview without so much as an excuse
So,
or an
David,
apology.
tell
I
me a
mean,
little bit about you.
I was a bit upset, you know? And apart from that bad start, I really disliked him. This guy is cold. He's distant. And he gave me the impression that he already knew all there is to know about me, you know?
But now?
You know, now I think that perhaps he wasn't such a bad guy after all. You know, who had it in for me? I mean, why would he?
Precisely. It's just a man doing his job, same as you. And although it was sort of rude to have kept you waiting for so long, there's no reason to belittle him or yourself as a defense mechanism. Hey, but he could have been a completely different sort of person, you know, something like this.
David, hi. Pleasure to meet you. Please, take a seat. Take a seat.
Thank you.
What then?
Now, this would have made it much easier to open up to him. I mean, a friendly interviewer like this, you know, that creates a positive atmosphere. Am I right? This guy, I tell you. But if I read you correctly, I shouldn't have to open up too much or be over chummy.
Because it doesn't mean that he's taken an immediate shine to you either. And so...
And so I should treat both warm interviewer and cold interviewer the same, earnestly, confidently, and respectfully.
Spot on.
So, when later along the interview he asked me why I left my previous workplace, I should have answered, well, frankly, sir, that's a fair question. I just didn't get along with my supervisor. We didn't see eye to eye on many things. We had constant clashes, so he let me go. Pure and simple, huh?
Oh, David. David.
What? Come on. I was confident. I was respectful. I was honest.
How am I going to put this? That we're really getting into the nitty-gritty of things now, okay? What I mean to say is you were all of the above, you know, everything that you said, but you were nevertheless really harmful in your handling of that question.
I don't know. Should I have lied?
I'm not saying you should have lied in this instance.
Is there such an instance?
Yes, there is. I mean, for example, if let's say you were caught in a broom cupboard or something with a co-worker, or you just happen to be a member of a criminal family or something, I say definitely lie, because the truth certainly isn't going to do anyone any good. But you know what I'd say in your case? Just find an additional reason that wouldn't harm your chances. Can you think of one?
Well, I did have my eyes set on working for a larger company.
Brilliant. So how about this?
I wanted to concentrate on the particular professional aspect this job was offering. I feel I have much more to contribute in that area.
Is that the truth?
Well, it's not the exact reason, but it's close enough.
Well, close enough is good enough for situations such as these.
So, in accord, when he asked me,
What did you like most about your previous position?
I shouldn't have answered. Not much, I'm sad to say. I felt stuck. Underrated.
Quite right. You see, if you don't appreciate the work that you do, no matter how boring it might be, how do you think it makes you look? It makes you look bad. Try to see the positive aspects of your work. Appreciate that and then reflect it. Because people that appreciate their jobs, they have a great attitude towards the work they do.
I like managing a team. I like that team unity. I like that inter-office competition that keeps you on your toes, you know, that team spirit. I like being the one leading a group such as I did.
So, what do you think?
That's inspiring, Gwen.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to have found a sapling I can nurture.
Yeah, but I still don't understand how one can make, a fundamental change like this. I mean, can one go from a David to a Gwen overnight?
Well, it's certainly possible, but only if that particular David is willing to put a real kick into it. You've got to make a real effort. Because if you're less than willing, I'd just still make every excuse in the world why you couldn't possibly manage it. Anyway, this Gwen's one of a kind.
I am willing.
You are?
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll see if I can get you a second interview.
Oh, that'd be terrific.
It would. And in the meantime, why don't you find yourself a black frame or something and sum up my pointers in bullet form?
Huh? Well, they made me head of the company with $200,000 a year.
Are you having me on?
Yes, I am. But it went really great. And I'm going to be hearing from them real soon.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't really think I, thanked you properly.
Well, a dinner out should do the trick.
Well, maybe you could give me a few pointers on that as well. What do you say?
Okay, then. Rule number 1, flattery goes a long way.
Flattery, eh? Okay, gotcha. Rule number 2?